All right. Good morning, Mr. Williams.
Yes,
Would you introduce yourself, sir? Tell us your name and DOC number.
John Williams, 68991.
And you have counsel with you this morning. Good morning, Mr. Lancaster. Would you enter your name into the record, please?
Good morning, Ms. Renata. Robert Lancaster with the LSU Law Clinic here representing Mr. Williams.
Thank you, sir. So, Mr. Williams, I'm going to read some identifying information into the record, and then I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Vara, seated to my left. Your case has been assigned to him. So, Mr. Williams, you are classified as a first felony offender, currently serving a life sentence. You were sentenced in Lafourche Parish in September 1969 for a first-degree rape conviction, and your parole eligibility date was June of 2022. Is that information correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me just acknowledge too that we have on Zoom your niece, Latasha Francis. She's going to speak on your behalf. And then Mr. Andrew Hundley with the Parole Project, and we'll be hearing from him shortly too. Mr. Byron.
How many years have you served in jail, Mr. Williams?
Excuse me?
How many years have you done?
52.
And since you've been in jail, what have you learned about yourself?
Well, I learned how to, through the classes that I've taken, I learned how to respect other folks and the crime that I did, it hurt. But I can't undo what has happened. All I could do is say I'm sorry and condolence to the family, because I hurt them. I also hurt my family.
How old are you right now?
80.
Why do you think now would be a good time to grant you parole after all these years? What's your plan?
Well, I think that I'm ready through the classes and the courses that I've taken. I'm ready to go back out and be a protective person, because I'm no longer the person that I used to be. I'm not that person anymore.
What's your day like in jail? What do you do every day? You have a job? What do you do?
Well, I put water out to the line, and when I have two jobs, I put water out to the line, and then I go to the processing plant. I operate a forklift.
Which class that you took was the most meaningful to you? Which one did you take that you learned the most out of that said, oh, this is
change.
great?
Thanking for a change.
Tell me about that, what you learned in there.
I learned how to respect my fellow man and to understand and think before you do things.
Have you ever been on any kind of supervision before?
On
Parole, anything like that?
no, sir. I ain't been on parole.
How about probation?
I've been on probation.
For what?
Aggravated fighting.
Anything else?
No, sir.
How about possession of a sawed-off shotgun?
That was the same thing. That was the same thing.
What you mean the same thing?
I was on probation for.
And
I was,
how did you finish that probation? How did it end?
that was, I had gotten a fight in Homer, and they found the sawed-off shotgun in my car. But it was mine.
And how did that probation end? Did you successfully complete it? Or you got to do
Yes,
some
sir.
time over it?
No, I completed my probation. I had 2 years on probation.
We have a couple of people here to speak in support of you. We'll move on to those. We'll start with Mr. Hunley, since he's been first all day long.
Thank you. Andrew Hunley, representing Louisiana Parole Project, here to confirm to the board today that if John's granted parole, that we've accepted him into our residential reentry program. We stood by John at his previous parole hearing. We know the board asked him to complete some additional programming at his last hearing, which he has done. More importantly, and I also want to point out, my math may be a little bit better than his. I think
56?
I think he's served closer to 56 years, but
Yeah,
you know,
me too.
but after 52 years, maybe you stop counting. But he's done quite a bit of time. Our organization was actually active in getting that legislation passed. He is a 10-6 lifer who pled guilty to a life sentence at a time when a life sentence was a bit different than what it is today. But as far as the skin that our organization's willing to put in the game, I know we generally talk about how long someone will be in our program. With John, we anticipate that he would be a long-term client in our organization. Uh, I'd rather just say if at any point he ever left our program, we would get permission from the board. I anticipate that he will be in our program for the remainder of his years. We have housing specifically for sort of our older registered clients that have a community with themselves, and he would be in that program, in that housing unit, where he would have a case manager, but also access to our social work team to ensure that his expectations as someone who's registered in all the classes and such that he would have to take part in will ensure that he understands all those requirements and that he has a team that's working to get him to make sure he's meeting all compliance once he's on parole, just based on his record. And, obviously, many people in our organization, including myself, have known John for many years. We have no reason to believe that he will do anything other than comply with the expectations of our program and parole. After 56 years, our organization's just here to say that we're going to give him housing and give him all the help he needs to be successful once he reenters society. We expect him to be a good client with no issues, just based on what we know about him. I'll stand by to answer any questions you may have about his reentry. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we'll have Mr. Robert Lancaster, his attorney.
Yes, Mr. Barra. So Mr. Williams' institution for 56 years here at Angola is one that demonstrates compliance. Over that period of time, over 5 decades of incarceration, he's got 16 write-ups. The last one was in 1996. He's got the highest trustee status that he's able to get. He was given trustee status back in 1984 and has maintained that. There was a short period, I think in 86, where he lost it for a very brief period of time. But all of that demonstrates his compliance with expectations, his compliance with rules, It's a record that demonstrates a person very different than who he was at the time this crime was committed when he pled guilty in 1969. He has a low risk Tiger score as well. He is 80 years old. He's very healthy. I understand the only medication he takes is for high blood pressure. He, has consistently worked, currently has 2 jobs. As Mr. Hunley mentioned, the Parole Project is going to support him on the outside. If there's any additional programming that the committee deems appropriate, the Parole Project will work to meet that. Since his last parole hearing, where the committee did indicate that they wanted to see a little bit more programming, in January of 23, he completed Thinking for a Change, took that as the second time. He originally took it in 2017. He took victim awareness and victim accountability training. He completed that in February of 23. And then he finalized the sex offender phase 4 treatment in September of 23. One thing about Mr. Williams, and I've represented him at his last parole hearing. The clinic has had his case for a long time. 56 years at Angola, you're sitting down and talking with John. He's the type of person that you can talk to all day long. He's really a historian of this institution, his experiences at this institution. I've had a lot of that conversation about what work was like when he got here in 1969 and what he's done over that time. Just a few things that I just want to mention in all of that conversation over time that really indicates the institution's trust in him is, he mentioned, that he, takes out water to the line every morning. Well, part of that work is driving a truck around the institution. He's done that for quite some time. He's had jobs where he's driven a tractor with cotton on the, on a trailer on the back of it, across the ferry, across the river to the Gen. So the institution has demonstrated trust in John for quite a significant period of time. He's not someone that comes before the committee with a recent conversion. He's really demonstrated compliance, especially since no write-up since 1996. I understand he's come before the pardon board over his time here 3 times, and each time the board gave a recommendation for a reduction of his sentence. And he's here today with changes of the law that were made under Act 544, which did give parole eligibility to individuals who originally were sentenced prior to 1972 to life, where they did have eligibility after 10 years and 6 months. So this was a guilty plea. He recognized, took responsibility for his crime by pleading guilty. And at that time, the state, agreed to a sentence of life being eligibility for release after 10 years and 6 months. So for those reasons, we request that he be granted parole. Remaining, he'll live out the rest of his sentence under parole supervision with the Parole Project. If the committee has any specific questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank you very much.
All right, next we have Ms. Latasha Francis Anise.
Good morning, board. I am Latasha Francis. I am the niece of Mr. John's younger brother. He's been in my life for a few years. He's always been a person that when he does call and I have anything going on in my family, he's always been that uncle that I can just tell anything to. Over the years, I've been by his side. I'll continue to be by his side. He's gotten older over the years since I've seen him, and it feels good to see him now. And I'm realizing all the accomplishments he's made since he's been in there. I've been aware that he drives the water truck. He works. He's pretty healthy. We keep in touch pretty often. He definitely has my support for as long as he needs it. I'm 40, but I remember as younger, my dad bringing us to see him, and he's always been this man that I see in front of me now. Humble, he made a mistake, he's learned, he's earned a true spot in my heart over the years. I don't have enough time to speak about all the things he's done over the years, but one thing I can tell you, he's been a second father to me ever since my dad died. He's definitely stepped up. And I'm not just saying it just to make it sound good. Um, he's a true uncle. I really don't have. It's nothing I can't tell him. It's nothing he doesn't have advice for. He's always in good spirits when he calls me. I don't think I could ask for much more. And I just want to let the board know that I do love my uncle, and he is going to continue to have the support he's had over the years from me, no matter the outcome of this parole hearing. And I thank you all for your time. And if it's okay, I would like to tell him I love him if it's okay with the board.
Go ahead.
Uncle Johnny, I just want to let you know you continue to have my support and I love you.
Thank you. All right. We don't have any documented victim opposition or anyone here to speak regarding opposition. My colleagues have questions? With no questions, it'll be time to vote, and I'll vote first, so. Mr. Williams, today I'm gonna vote to grant your parole to the Parole Project for Life. Also, I'm gonna add the special condition that you complete all aspects of sex offender treatment and registration, that you have random alcohol and drug screens, and realize any violation of supervision would put you back in jail for the rest of your life. I'm one vote.
Mr. Freeman.
Okay, Mr. Williams, I don't think you're a threat to society anymore. My vote is gonna be to grant to the Parole Project, and you're not to leave without permission of the board. I do want to note that you're on your static 99, you scored a -3, which is very, very low risk of reoffending. And that's my vote today. My vote's to grant to the Parole Project.
All right, Mr. Williams, I saw you the last time you appeared and you were encouraged at that time to complete the sex offender treatment. You've done that. So my vote is the same, to grant your parole to the Parole Project with those special conditions stipulated by Mr. Byron. Good luck to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Warden, that concludes our business. We're going to sign off at 11:44. Thank you.
And I took care of what you asked me.